Do you have anything of any value? Well, if you do, the chances of you being the target of a financial scam are huge. According to ARP, they saw a 20-fold increase in scams reported by consumers from 2023 to 2025 because people are using the internet so much more now. This all started back when the pandemic was on. AI is giving fraudsters new opportunities to prey on you. So stick with me today as I cover the red-hot scams to avoid in 2026 and hopefully protect yourself from the thieves out there preying on us. Good morning and welcome to Protect Your Assets. I'm David Hollander, your host. It's so great to be with you this morning. For those of you just joining us for the first time, welcome. People around here, they call me the Sandman. If you have a question that's tax, financial, or legal related, just send me an email to questions@pyaradio.com. Again, questions@pyaradio.com. So Americans collectively lose $50 billion a year to fraud. And fraudsters are innovative professionals constantly reinventing their scams. And when fraud happens, victims are left not only with financial loss, but compromised identities and even emotional distress, not to mention all the money you could lose. Still, there are ways to protect yourself from financial fraud. So today I'll discuss common present-day scams, why they're so successful, some signals that an investment scam may be underway, and what you can do to protect yourself from becoming a victim. Now, let's get started. Well, healthy fundamentals and corporate earnings drove the major markets higher this past week. We saw the Dow just off slightly at 0.4%, S&P up 0.5%. NASDAQ had a good week, up 1.5%, and the MSCI International Index up 1%. 10-year Treasury, 4.31%. Oil, $94 a barrel. So markets are pricing out the tail risk of the Iranian conflict, and the speed and scale of this recovery shows why you just got to stick to your investment plan. If you don't have a plan, well, you should speak with your financial advisor who can help you navigate economic, geopolitical policy shifts and help ensure your portfolio remains on track to achieve your personal financial goals, particularly if you're looking to create income from your portfolio. But for right now, the economy is looking like it's pretty resilient. Last week brought the first look at how the U.S. households were weathering the latest inflation shock. Retail sales jumped 1.7% month over month in March, as surging oil prices pushed spending at gas stations some 15% higher. However, rising gas costs did not deter you from spending at the malls. Looking back, these data points are impressive that the resilience is there. Consumers are still spending. This could be because of the stronger tax refunds. We had tax cuts last year. And so estimates from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, suggest that refunds could be about $150 billion higher this year, which alongside lower withholdings help provide a boost to the consumer's purchasing power. Businesses right now are also telling a similar story. With this past week, we saw the manufacturing service PMI came in at 52. In our view, diversification allows you to get exposure to a range of investment themes. Moreover, it can help cushion shocks that might emerge to the macroeconomic and market outlook by spreading and diversifying risk across a wider group of companies, geographies, and asset classes. No matter how sophisticated you think you are, I'm talking to you. Today's cyber thieves, armed with AI, are a real threat. So find out what you can do right now to protect yourself from that message that just came through on your phone. Keep it right here. You've been listening to Protect Your Assets with David Hollander. I am the Sandman, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Protect Your Assets. I'm David Hollander. People call me the Sandman around here. And the volatility lately has been something, but then you add to that this new AI and what thieves are doing with it. It's just tough out there. So if you've liked any of Protect Your Assets this morning or want to share this podcast with your friends, then go to wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Tunes. Just type in Protect Your Assets and then the subject you're looking for, and the show should come up. If you've just tuned in today, we're talking about the red hot scams that you need to look out for in 2026, particularly with AI out there now and how easy it is to use. So this first one that I just came across is known as what's called a deepfake scam. Now, deepfakes can take on all sorts of contexts, but this particular one is quite alarming. This is where criminals use AI tools. They get access to your Facebook accounts, your Instagram, and they create a video or phone call to steal your savings or other assets. Now, if you just Google this, you'll see this doctor from Beverly Hills, David Amron, Oprah Winfrey, and even Kelly Clarkson were all victims of this. The thieves used images, likeness, and their own voices from these celebrities to create a Facebook advertisement that promised a $50 miracle cream could help cure a painful condition. The video was very realistic and almost impossible to know it was fake. And what criminals are doing is they're digitally altering what you say and do in these videos and audio clips to get people on the other side to take action. There's another story I came across whereby a grandmother believed she was having conversations with her granddaughter. And get this, she ended up turning over $595,000 to criminals. So the Tech Transparency Project found that scam advertisers had paid Meta $49 million to run deepfake videos of politicians and government appointees, hawking scams which included fake government stimulus checks, government benefit cards, and other benefits that they said you were entitled to. And the question is, well, how are the criminals getting access to this? Well, look, if you have a Facebook account or an Instagram account and you're inviting a bunch of people you don't know or they have access to it, well, it only takes literally a few seconds of access to your information to create these videos. So what can you do, or what do you need to know to stay safe from these growing threats that are becoming so prolific, as AI literally can just be downloaded on any cell phone that folks are running around with? So first and foremost, when you receive or come across something that seems too good to be true or slightly out of the ordinary, the first thing that is recommended is that you pause, literally. Start counting to 10 if you can, because it's so easy just to react, right? But pause before you take any action. Next, you should be skeptical of any offer that just sounds too good to be true. Realize that you can't trust anymore what you see with your eyes or hear with your ears. That to me was the most disturbing. You now have to verify, and this takes some time, but it could end up really helping you in the end. You now need to evaluate the situation and don't just touch the link that they're asking you to or click on something that pops up in an email. Right now, scammers are using snippets of audio of your voice or your family's voice. And again, they're getting these from your Facebook account or your Instagram accounts. And then what they're doing is they're taking those and they're creating these AI-generated videos literally on ChatGPT or any source like that in almost minutes. And now they can interact with you, your family. It's just real time. So if you're having a conversation over the phone, these things are that fast where they can do that. and you believe you're talking to your loved one. So if you get a phone call on your cell phone and you don't recognize that incoming name or that number, even if it's someone that you think you might know, don't answer it. Just let it go to voicemail, because chances are they're not going to leave you a voicemail. But I've heard of where you get an incoming phone from a call and you answer it. And it sounds like it's your relative or your friend or your spouse and you're having a conversation with that person. But again, the caller ID is not theirs. What can you do? You can hang up and call them back. Call your loved one back. Because again, if they answer the phone, they're probably going to say, "What are you talking about?" If they did, great. Now you have a connection. But the thieves don't have that number on the other side. Follow me? So that's why you want to make that call back and verify. What's another big scam right now? A lot of people are being laid off, as you've heard. And why is this? Well, it's AI once again. AI is taking people's jobs. Meta just announced, I'm sure you just heard that they're going to lay off 10% of their workforce soon. Unfortunately, last year, U.S. employers laid off more than 1.2 million people. So with so many out there right now seeking work, employment scams are on the rise. Those who are desperately looking for work may be more susceptible to fraud, including bogus jobs and online ads on job search websites and on social media. Some scammers impersonate real recruitment agencies. Their goal is to obtain your personal information and to get you to pay them a fee to help you find a job. So how can you stay safe? Well, you should never pay for a job interview. Second, if you get a big promise, just distrust it right up front. Guarantees of great pay, low hours while working from home, well, those are all red flags. Scrutinize the source. If a so-called recruiter contacts you, check the company's website and see if they're actually hiring for that particular position. And if that person who contacted you, do they actually work where they say they do? You can go ahead and call that place and see if they're really there. Be careful about posting your resume out there. Criminals can use information included in your resume to manipulate you. The overwhelming majority of calls right now are from imposters posing as businesses or officials, not people you know, but it's estimated that's going to change. So again, those government checks and those sort of things, businesses, those are usually where the imposters are posing right now. But again, with this new technology, start expecting the personal. There's nothing worse than realizing after the fact that someone took advantage of you. The shock and awe, the anguish, beating yourself up by saying, well, I should have known better. We hear about this a lot, especially with the next one I'm going to talk about in the next segment about the romantic scams. These are very common, and they're just getting more and more sophisticated. So again, what can you do when you get something that comes to you in an email, in a text, even a call? First, you know this, it's just obvious, but don't give out your sensitive information, no matter who it is on the other end. Credit cards. They offer you more protection against fraud than a debit card or a check. So if you use credit cards to buy things, that's good. The most you're going to be responsible for legally is $50. $0 if you report the credit card stolen. With a debit card or a check, you could end up paying for all of that thief's spending spree. So be really careful with those things. The biggest mistake people make is to think they're immune. Sophisticated criminals monitor your emails, your cell phone, your mail, texts. They can use your location to intercept lucrative data and transactions that you're doing. I'm aware of another story of a CFO of a company who was targeted via email from apparently the CEO. The CEO asked the CFO in an email to wire $30,000 to a third-party bank account for some construction. The CFO knew the CEO was doing construction and just followed orders. He never bothered to follow up with a phone call or just walk in the CEO's office to verify that that request was legitimate. Moreover, the request came from the CEO's iPhone, and most people in that company knew that the CEO used a Samsung. So again, these sort of instances of facts that just sort of line up, it can happen. The coincidences can happen, and then all of a sudden you're getting yourself into trouble. So again, pause, verify, check, take the extra step. Even though it seems not as efficient these days, it could be very, very valuable to you. The common denominator that we're seeing in these scams right now: don't send money to someone by Venmo, PayPal, or another cash app unless you've actually met that person in person. If you hear gift card, any sort of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin involved in what you're doing, just stop. If anyone instructs you to go to a store and buy something or deposit money, well, that's another big red flag. No legitimate business really operates that way these days. No government agency takes payments via prepaid gift cards or Bitcoin. The credit card, once again, it can protect you when you're shopping online. Often you're led to fraudulent websites by an ad that pops up while you're using or browsing on your social media, or you're talking about something. It just pop up in your car. I'm sure you've seen that. Because the advertising on Instagram, Facebook targets your interests, you may click on the ad without thinking. If you're looking to purchase something online, take the name of the company, put it into a search engine, and write the word scam or reviews or complaints after it to see what other people are saying about that. If you are thinking of retiring and you would like my free guide on how to protect your retirement, well, call this number right now. We'll be happy to email it to you this morning. Call this number, 866-PROTECT, or 866-776-8328. Again, 866-PROTECT if you want to find out how to protect your savings right now. Coming up next, it'll be time for our popular They Say segment, where they say you can meet the love of your life on Facebook. Is that really true? Well, you're listening to the Sandman on the Protect Your Assets radio network, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Protect Your Assets. I am David Hollander, also known as the Sandman around here. And protecting your assets right now has become so much more important as criminals are using sophisticated AI tools like ChatGPT to fleece investors from literally billions of dollars. Switching topics for a moment, if you're looking to pay lower taxes, well, we are back to our tax planning workshops. And we're going to do a couple over here in the East Bay. That'll be over the next couple of weeks. And then we'll be back in Marin. So if you'd like to go to the one in Lafayette or Danville, check our website, libertygroupllc.com. You can click on the events tab, and then they're all right there. You can just click the little blue button, register right there. Bring a friend, and we'll have a nice dinner and talk about taxes. Fraudsters are innovative professionals constantly reinventing scams. When fraud happens, people are left not only with a financial loss, but typically a compromised identity that is just so difficult to repair. And you add to that all the time wasted, emotional distress, etc. It's just not fun. So there are ways to protect yourself, and that's why today I'm discussing the latest scams to avoid in 26 and what you can do to protect yourself before it's too late. Now it's time for one of our fan favorite parts of the show. This is our They Say segment, where we debunk common myths, half-truths, and sometimes just bad advice that they say. All right, so here's one they say. They say that you can meet the love of your life on Facebook. Is that really true? I hate to say it, it depends, but in most cases, I don't think so. It's possible that you could get ripped off, and in a large way financially, and not to mention emotionally. Kate, she was 67, recently widowed. She accepted a friend request from Tony on Facebook. Now, Tony said he was interested in the same things as Kate, like dogs, gardening, kids. Kate thought Tony was handsome, and he claimed that he was also a doctor. Tony said he was a surgeon working in Iraq with the United Nations who had 2 children. His kids contacted Kate by email and called her mom after the couple started communicating online over several months. Kate, who had always wanted to be a mother, was very excited to meet all of these people. The first request for money came from the daughter, who told Kate that she needed some feminine supplies, but she was too embarrassed to ask her dad for them. Kate sent a gift card. From then, there was always some kind of emergency or some urgent need for money. Kate went through all of her husband's life insurance money and then her savings. Kate started living on her credit cards, and Tony managed to get Kate to sign over her Social Security and her husband's pension. To prove he would pay her back, Tony sent Kate passwords to his bank account so she could see a balance of more than $2 million in the account. Then he said he had vacation coming up and he was going to fly and meet her. Finally. Kate was so excited. She got all dressed up, had her hair and her nails done, and she drove to the San Francisco airport to pick Tony up. Tony never arrived. Kate then received a call from a man who said he was Tony's attorney. According to the attorney, someone had put drugs in Tony's bag, and he was in jail. And he needed $20,000 for bail so he could finally get out and meet Kate. By the time Kate stopped sending money, she had sent over, get this, $400,000 and had literally no money left to cover her past due bills. According to Kate, even harder than losing the money, of course, was the loss of the family that she thought she was going to share with Tony, particularly in this vulnerable time she was going through after losing her husband of so many years. Romance scams and social media. The FBI has issued alerts warning of various types of schemes carried under the guise of romance. Romance scams initiated through social media are a real problem. And most times, even the people that I've spoken to who've been victims of this, they really believe it's true. And it's so hard to talk to them about, this is probably a scam. You got to be careful. And if you're trying to talk to your parents about this happens. You lose a parent, you have the other parent who's vulnerable, he or she then gets duped into things like this. But they tell you, no, it's not happening to me. This person's real. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. So how can you help your parent, or how can you avoid being scammed? Whatever you do, don't send money or gifts to anyone you've never met in person, no matter what. Don't sign legal documents or give account numbers to anyone. To spot some red flags, it's a good idea to talk to people you know about anyone you meet online and listen. Hear me? Listen to their input about whether something just doesn't seem right. You can use Google to do a reverse image search of any photos that someone may send you of themselves. This includes photos of the person and even of such mundane things as a picture of the meals they're eating at that moment. Scammers often reuse the same photos. Other factors that you love as a scammer, typically they say they're living or traveling outside the U.S. They say they're working on an oil rig or in a military, or they're a doctor with an international organization trying to help people. So they blame that on the difficulties in communication or making in-person arrangements. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Common requests include asking for money to pay for travel or medical expenses, or for custom fees to retrieve something, or to pay a gambling debt, or to pay taxes on money that you supposedly won. They also say they need money to pay for a visa or a travel document to come meet with you. They're not going to do it. Don't do it. They'll often ask the victim to use gift cards or wire transfers to send funds. These methods make money virtually impossible to recover once you send it. Make sure you keep all conversations on dating or social media platforms. Don't move the conversation to messaging, because many platforms utilize harmful language filters to detect fraud. If your contact refuses to meet or video chat with you, that's a huge red flag. Stop immediately. Try other ways to verify their identities in real time. For example, ask the person to send a selfie holding a piece of paper with your name and date next to his or her face. Check to be sure the people or firms you trade with are registered with federal or state authorities. Relying on registration alone doesn't protect you from fraud, but most scams involve unregistered entities, people, or products. Before making any investment, get a second opinion. Talk it over with your financial advisor, your CPA, your attorney, your trusted friend who maybe is a little more sophisticated when it comes to technology than you. And don't be embarrassed to talk to your family. Your family really wants to know about these things, and they're not going to look down on you or think poorly about you. I know it's hard to ask, but just do it. Never pay more money to get your money back. If you suspect fraud, report it immediately to the Internet Crime Complaint Center. That's out there. It's called the Internet Crime Complaint Center, and you can help others by doing that. If you come across anything like this, again, report it. Ask for help. Stop. That's the message. Is you have to pause. Don't be so quick to ask. This is really a new time where that quickness gets you in trouble. So just be careful. Just stop and pause. Think. So I hope all this was helpful to you. Did you know there are possibly thousands of investment options that exist outside your 401k plan? Well, if you wanted to know what those are, we can send you a piece about that. Your 401k could participate in a plan where you can invest in other things outside of the funds that they're offering in that plan. We'd be happy to share that with you. And give us a call, 866-PROTECT, on 866-776-8328. If the lines are busy, just call back, 866-PROTECT. Coming up next on Protect Your Assets, what's one of the easiest ways to protect yourself right now from fraud? Find out when I come back. Keep it right here. Welcome back. This is Protect Your Assets. I'm David Hollander. People call me the Sandman because I help you protect more of what you work hard for. And today we're talking about the latest red hot scams that criminals using AI are using to get your hard-earned money. Just becoming much more difficult out there with this new technology. Before we move on to that subject, I want to wish some happy birthdays. Tom Kelly, Carol Elwood, Luisa Talarita, Jeff Fisher, Claire Hawkins, Kathleen Withicum, David Withicum, Tim Fuete, Angelo Del Greco, Shelley Yarin, Sheila, Lynette Harity, Cara DeRuiter, and Rick Sakuda. Happy birthday, you guys. Hope you have had a great birthday. So today we're talking about the top scams that thieves are doing to rip you off. And another scam I came across that criminals are doing right now. This one's called digital arrest. You're informed that you're the subject of a criminal investigation. Fake law enforcement officers interrogate you on a video call. They threaten you with criminal charges, sending AI-generated phony arrest warrants, and pressuring you to pay fines. Well, you can stay safe by not taking a video call. If you get a FaceTime, don't answer it, particularly if it's from someone you don't know. Law enforcement does not call you. They don't. They just show up. So that's a red flag right there. Court orders and arrest warrants, well, those are not delivered through a phone call, through your email, or through your social media. They come through the mail, or again, they're hand delivered. So be aware of these things and don't fall for it, because a lot of people are having a lot of problems with these. One gentleman even passed away from the stress. So be very careful about this, as this is a new growing threat that's happening right now and is very scary. Criminals are smart, but you can be smarter. I recommend putting in place the following policies that can protect you and sticking to them no matter how legitimate a request or opportunity seems. First, protect your phone. Smartphones are tiny computers that live in our pockets, but they can access much of your personal information. These devices need to be protected as vigilantly as you would by locking your house. Your phone's passcode works the same way. Set one up so that only you can unlock your phone, and make sure you frequently change it. What's frequently? Maybe once a month, once every other month. To make sure thieves don't get in by the back door, only download apps that you know that are verified and vetted. Don't just, see one on a wall somewhere and say, oh, that's interesting, download it. Don't do that. Take advantage of the options from your cellular phone providers and the manufacturers. Such as, on iPhones, you can send unknown numbers or ones that could be fraud. They go straight to a voicemail, or there's a scanner. There's a way through your settings where you can have any unknown number go straight into voicemail, and you can see it on your phone before you answer it. Do that. Turn that on. Put all of your contacts, the people that you actually know, put them in your phone with their name. So if your granddaughter is calling you, you see it's your granddaughter. If some fraudster out there is pretending to be your granddaughter, it won't necessarily go through. If you have an older family member who may be vulnerable, help them set up these protections. You hear me, grandkids? Build in safeguards. Use strong original passwords for different accounts, especially your financial accounts. That way, if one gets hacked, the others remain secure. I would consider using password management software. It makes it easier to use complex passwords so that you don't have to remember those strings of digits. Install security software on your device and make sure you update it. Make sure you have two-factor authentication on any financial account so that even when you put in this password that's complicated, you have to verify that it's you with a code to get access to that particular account. Usually the second source is your cell phone, typically. This is a tough one because I know my mom's doing the same thing. You got to switch to a better device. Update it. Consider using a new iPad or tablet instead of a laptop or a desktop or even an older cell phone, because they can offer more avenues for entry from viruses and scammers. Review your privacy settings on social media. This is very important. Make sure your information is only visible to those you choose. Facebook, Instagram, other social media platforms will walk you through the steps to change your privacy settings, or definitely ask a younger relative or friend to help you look at those. Because if you set them a few years ago and you haven't looked, things have changed. You can update them now. Do it. Wait and talk. One of the best protections we have is a gut check with a family member or a friend. Before you make a purchase or send money, ask someone you trust what they think. Whenever you buy yourself time to think about a request, you're more likely to recognize it's a scam and protect yourself. Just because someone calls or emails you doesn't mean you owe them anything. Being assertive is not being rude. That's a stranger calling into your home using your phone that you pay for. It's okay to say, no, thank you. Retirement is a major transition. It's made up of many financial as well as life decisions that you have to make. This is why it's important to work with a financial planner who's experienced in retirement to create a retirement plan that helps you walk through all the changes that are happening all the time. You can start to build your own custom financial plan, even get a second opinion on one that you're using. If you want to get that right now, start by getting my checklist. This is a free checklist you can literally get in a few minutes. Take a look at it. It's a quick checklist. Call this number and ask for the checklist. 866-PROTECT. The number to call to get yours right now. 866-776-8328. Again, protect yourself. 866-PROTECT. I'd like to give a big thanks to the Protect Your Assets team for putting together a great show today. Because without my team, I'm just another pretty voice on the radio. You've been listening to the Protect Your Assets show. I am David Hollander, the Sandman. Go out and make the rest of your life the best of your life.